It was a crisp October morning in 2017 when the sleepy town of Maple Hollow, Pennsylvania, woke up to a horror no one could have imagined. A scream pierced through the fog, echoing across the trees that lined Foster Lane. It was 6:47 a.m. A jogger, pale and trembling, had stumbled upon something so grotesque, so unimaginable, that it would mark the beginning of one of America's most haunting murder cases. The body of 32-year-old Amanda Foster lay sprawled in her front yard, her eyes wide open in terror, her nightgown soaked in blood. But what struck investigators most wasn't just the brutality, it was the deliberate positioning of her body, arms outstretched like a cross, a single white rose placed delicately on her chest. Who would do this to Amanda Foster, a beloved kindergarten teacher, a mother of two, and a woman with no known enemies? Within minutes, yellow tape sealed off the Foster residence. Police, paramedics, and neighbors swarmed the scene. Amanda's children, 8-year-old Lucy and 5-year-old Jonah, were found inside, physically unharmed but silent, clutching each other on the living room floor. Jonah kept repeating one thing: the man with the blue eyes. Detective Rachel Moran was assigned to the case, a seasoned investigator with a reputation for seeing the unseen. She'd seen crime scenes before, but nothing like this. The level of symbolic detail, the calmness in the chaos, it didn't feel random. Amanda's husband, Daniel Foster, was at a business conference in Chicago at the time. He arrived home later that day, shattered, confused, and unavoidably a suspect. The town was in shock. The town was in shock. Amanda had no known enemies. She volunteered at school, led the town's book club, and helped at church events. But as Detective Moran began peeling back layers, secrets started to unravel. First, there was Amanda's diary. Hidden behind a loose floorboard, it painted a picture very different from the smiling woman in family photos. She wrote of feeling watched, of waking up to the sound of someone whispering her name, of receiving cryptic notes in her mailbox. "You don't deserve this life." Then came the neighbor's testimony. An elderly woman across the street reported seeing a man sitting in a parked car outside the Foster home every night for the past month. She remembered his piercing blue eyes. Rachel dug deeper into Amanda's past, and that's when the bombshell dropped. Amanda Foster had once been Amanda Reynolds, and in 2002 she testified against her then-boyfriend. But here's the twist. Marcus Hale was released in March of 2017, 7 months before Amanda's murder. When police tried to locate him, they found he'd disappeared. No job, no address, no credit trail. It was like he never left prison, except he had, and he was hunting Amanda. Rachel issued a nationwide alert. Tips flooded in, sightings, possible aliases, suspicious characters, but none led to Marcus. Meanwhile, strange things kept happening. The Foster house was broken into a second time, but nothing was stolen. Amanda's grave was desecrated. Her children's drawings were torn off the fridge and replaced with chilling stick figures of a man standing over a woman. Lucy began drawing the same man in her therapy sessions, tall, hooded, with blazing blue eyes. Rachel knew time was running out. Marcus wasn't done. 3 months after Amanda's murder, Rachel devised a plan. Using an undercover officer and staged social media posts, she created a fake support group for ex-convicts, hoping Marcus might surface. He did. Using the alias Michael Reed, Marcus joined the group, claiming to be a reformed man seeking redemption. Rachel engaged him in conversation, slowly drawing him out. She pretended to be a grieving sister whose sibling had been killed by a woman who got away. Marcus took the bait. He opened up too much. In a series of private messages, he confessed indirectly. He spoke of a woman who destroyed him, who built a new life she didn't deserve. With the FBI's help, Rachel traced the IP address. Marcus Hale was living in an abandoned farmhouse just 20 miles outside Maple Hollow. On a cold January morning, SWAT descended on the farmhouse. Inside, they found Marcus. Walls covered. On a cold January morning, SWAT descended on the farmhouse. Inside, they found Marcus. Walls covered in photos of Amanda, newspaper clippings, her children's drawings, even strands of her hair. He was arrested without resistance, staring blankly, whispering, "She remembered me." The town of Maple Hollow would never be the same. Amanda Foster's story made national headlines. Her children were placed in the care of her sister. The trial was swift. Marcus showed no remorse. At the sentencing, Lucy, just 9 years old, stood before the court and said, "You took my mom, but you didn't take her love. That's still with me." Tears, applause, silence. Marcus Hale was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, but even that couldn't erase the horror he left behind. Amanda's legacy lived on. A scholarship in her name now helps children in Maple Hollow. And every October, a candlelight vigil is held in her memory on Foster Lane. But the question still lingers for many. How many more Marcuses are out there, hiding in plain sight, waiting, watching? If you found Amanda Foster's story as chilling and heartbreaking as we did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real-life true crime stories that deserve to be heard. Because sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that are true. For gripping real-life stories, kindly subscribe to this channel now. Thank you.